what I see for coming to me for contraceptive advice is exclusively women. They have to undergo taking drugs or having horrible coils and things put in them, or implants under the skin. I think they've had a bad deal from the medical profession regarding that. Men seem to come better with that from that point of view.
There is a very strong underlying idea that women should suffer more, and I use the word advisedly, in the service of preventing pregnancy than men.
Controlling fertility is not a burden. It's not suffering, and it's not by any measure a punishment. Rather, it's the key to absolute freedom and control of one's destiny. Freedom and control that only women have enjoyed for the last 50 years. The male pill would give men reproductive parity of women for the first time in history. It would be a sea change in humanity.
So let's say if there was a male pill, would you take it?
It's funny you say that, because I would now, yes. I know the reason why I was against it before is because I was in a relationship and I was like, well, no one's going to take that, it'd be silly. But yes, I would now, yeah. Definitely.
Why would you take it now? What's different now?
Because one, I don't like using rubbers, yeah, and two, it's just that satisfaction that, you know, all your sperm, whatever it is that creates the babies, is not going to be shooted up into a woman, is it?
So the main thing is to avoid pregnancy. Is it a trust issue between you and women, or is it an issue of you just don't want a pregnancy to happen?
It's a bit of both, isn't it? Definitely a bit of both. But I suppose ultimately I don't want the pregnancy. So yeah, I would take it. That'd be quite a cool thing now.
How about you?
Yeah, no, I definitely would. I mean, God, I've caused 2 abortions in my lifetime. I don't really want to cause any more. And I don't wear condoms. I'm really crap with wearing condoms. I'm not good at it, so I definitely would.
Men will go nuts for a male pill. They'll treat it like holy water. They'll possibly pray to it every night. They'd no more forget to take it than they'd forget to breathe. It's the passport to a sex life without risk of unwanted fatherhood. It would be the holy grail for every man. So if a male pill was available, you would take it?
Absolutely.
Would you think that most men would take it?
I think so, because it's about freedom. It's the same reason that women take the pill. It frees you from the other party. You don't have to rely on a woman taking the pill. You don't have to, you know, you are in control. And there will never be an unwanted pregnancy. Well, if both you have the ability to take a pill, then I cannot see how unwanted pregnancies could possibly happen.
No man could be duped into fatherhood. No man could be controlled and used. No man could be enslaved. Every child that's born would be a wanted child by both parents, not just the mother. Boris Becker had sex with a random woman in a restaurant cupboard. Sometime later, he's reported to have received the following facts from the woman. Becker has since had to give her millions of pounds in child support. What kind of woman is this that would have a child in this way? More to the point, is she even that unusual? And what kind of legal system is it that supports and encourages women like this?
Now, we've already calculated that on your salary you can expect to pay about £320 a month.
Oh, come on. In no other area is a swindler rewarded with a monthly cash settlement.
It's like someone's stolen my TV and they expect me to pay for the licence.
Journalist Amy Alkin terms this casual sex into cash flow sex, and millions of women are doing it. And you don't have to be Boris Becker to be vulnerable. If you earn $20,000, that can be enough for some of these women.
Thinks we can't afford another baby.
Oh, Christ. Well, there's your problem right there. He's thinking. You gotta get beyond his mind and get all his blood flowing down to his little fatty down there. And then he will forget everything. You gotta seduce the bastard. You can't let him make the choice. It's up to you.
We can't afford it.
Stop thinking about money. The only thing you should be thinking about is all this ass.
We can't afford it!
A male pill would mean that men would have no more fear and worry about fatherhood when they're not ready for it. There'd be no more concern about wives deciding to have children without discussion with the husband. There'd be no more Boris Becker cupboard children and the like, born to women turning casual sex into cash flow sex. There'd be no more one-night stand children born to women who think they're doing the right thing by having a child by one of the 3 men she had sex with that week. The male pill would be a building block for strong families again in an age where women had destroyed the meaning of family and who now seek surrogate fathers and husbands through the state. The legal profession would take a huge blow as lucrative divorce and child custody work would disappear overnight. Men would be able to choose the wives and partners they want to be with instead of being chosen without their consent. Without a doubt, the male pill would be the greatest liberator of men and the most positive boost for families in the whole of history. And that's why it may never happen. The very last thing that government, businesses and women want, could ever want, is for men to control childbirth. It would mean disaster for government's control of men, and disaster for business revenues, for the simple reason that broken families spend a lot more than those that are intact, and so are worth a lot more to a vast array of agencies. Direct beneficiaries of broken families are too numerous to ever fully catalogue, but they can collectively be described as the abuse industry. The birth rate would reduce hugely, because most children today are born without the consent of the man. House prices would come down, taxes would lower, government power would reduce, crime would fall, and world peace may well break out. What do you think the impact of the male pill will be when that's functional and licensed and it's there? Have you thought about that? Yeah, have you thought about that and its impact?
I think every man thinks about that, don't they? The idea that they will have total control of their fertility and not have to risk having pregnancies with... Most men, if there is an effective means of contraception for most men, which doesn't involve putting something on top of their penis, they will jump at it. They will jump at it. This will free them in a way that they've never been free before. Never been free before. Absolutely. I can't wait for it myself, even though I'm 53. And I'm absolutely certain that it'll be wonderful. Men will be in charge for the first time with regard to, yes.
Men must campaign for an effective male pill, and more importantly, acquire funds to support research into one. The only research currently being undertaken is into a hormone-based pill, which has significant side effects and involves men developing female traits and reduced long-term fertility. Clearly, this is not a promising avenue to pursue. The key question is where the money is going to come from to develop a male pill.
It's been suggested pharmaceutical companies are reluctant to start making a male contraceptive because it simply wouldn't be a money spinner for them. If it does become available, the final challenge will be persuading men to actually use it.
The pharmaceutical companies would make money from it, but this doesn't compare with what they make from having more people in the world. The reduced birth rate that would result from men finally having some control over their destiny would be counterproductive for these companies. There may well come a time that government and business do allow a genuine and effective male pill to be produced, but this will not happen until society's attitudes and laws have changed sufficiently to allow the free use by women of donated or otherwise harvested sperm.
Oh! The National Sperm Bank have had another run on my seed. Yeah, they want another deposit.
When women truly don't need men to have children, men will get a male pill. And it will be done like this in the name of women's rights to have children in any way they choose, and society's final acceptance that fathers really don't matter.
Give your mother a wedding.
If Arizona wanted to spend the rest of her life with me, yeah, I'll put on a big white dress and dance down the aisle.
How about grandkids?
Yes, I would imagine when the time came, there would be kids.
Fathers are quite literally being phased out. We're halfway there already. Once we go the full way, this is not a society that any of us are going to want to live in. It doesn't happen that a man wants to have a child and then splits. It may happen that he didn't want it, she forced it on him, he adjusted for a while, and then he splits. But that's not the same thing. I'd be hugely interested in statistics to show just how many families are together with kids when both parents wanted a child from before conception. I'd expect the percentage to be very high indeed. I would also love to know how many children that are born were planned by the father and how many were forced on him. We can't get this information because no man wants to say this out loud, especially with existing children, and no man wants to admit what sort of creature his wife is. Unfortunately, the man's role in parenting is frequently reduced to financial obligation. But it's important to realise that men want to be fathers when they choose to be fathers, not when a woman decides for them.
As the kid, you know, as he started getting more and more aware, and you know, and he recognises me now, and he'll put his hands out to greet me and stuff. It melts your heart every time, man, and that's just brilliant. I think it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I really do, and I would recommend it. It's just difficult to explain, really, and until you've experienced it. But I love it. I really do. I love it. I love being a dad.
Men want to choose when they make their huge and valuable investment in their children's lives. It's precisely because fatherhood is such a huge investment emotionally and financially that he'll walk away rather than invest in the wrong woman and child. Men do not want to be enslaved parents, and they will resist this enslavement